What's going on, everyone? It's Dustin. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend, and it is the end of the day, Monday. Today, it's a little bit after 5 o'clock now that I'm recording this, and I'm going to start at the top-down analysis. I'm going to start at the daily. As you can see here, we've been trading down, and now we've done this V-shaped recovery, drawback, up, and now we're drawing back again. So we're in somewhat of a healthy uptrend. I still have some big downside targets down here that may take a lot to get filled. This one I removed because it did get hit there. So it's a little bit jumbled over here because it's just tight over here. So let me go ahead and zoom in on that and show you what I was working with today. So I had an upside target. I've still got another upside target on up here. We had the pre-market high, which was up above all of this, and the pre-market low that was right in at the close of Thursday and Friday. So I had a downside target, which was this fair value gap right through here that we have, and then everything else, as you can see, is jumbled behind here. So we kind of started out okay today, early in the pre-market, and then we started selling down, and that was kind of the sign for me of what was, yet to come. So let's drop down to the 1 hour. In the 1 hour, you can see why is this not? I just had this loaded. Hold up. Reload. 1 hour. Why is it cutting it off? It shouldn't be. Oh, wait a minute. We're not open yet. There's still 5 minutes before it opens. Okay, never mind. That was a blonde moment or something there, I guess. So as you can see, we started the pre-market. We gapped up right here. We left this gap, and we were just chugging along. And then we started selling off pre-market. And when I saw this, I was like, okay, we're going to go fill this gap. And then we had this downside target down here, which was from this big gap that we put up on Thursday. So as we were coming down toward it, I was thinking we were going to fill this before market open. We were still in considerably an uptrend based off of what we have here. And so I was actually looking for longs after the gap filled. So we pushed down, put in the gap, and then pushed higher in the opening range. So I wasn't really looking for a short at this time. I was looking for a long because we'd already pretty much filled this gap. So let's drop down to the 15-minute and see what I was talking about there a little bit better. So you can see right through here the gap. We pushed into it at the open, pushed up, came back down into it further, came up, came back down into it even further, and then came back up. So these wicks buying here really laid into the strength of the upside trade today. And then we did trade up, and then we just rolled over and went down. And then now in the post market, we did go up a little bit there at the end, but pretty much down the rest of the day ever since we hit our high midday. So on the 5 minute, you can see I've got my orders here. I did go long at the close of this 5 minute candle. A little bit of backtrack here. I was not on my computer. So the reason I'm showing it on TradingView now is because this is where I done everything today, but I was actually trading on my phone. My brokerage, we had a team party this morning where we went. We actually went to a spa, and then we went and had lunch. So we left the spa, I think at like right at 11. So I took this trade shortly after we left. It was shortly after we left the spa, or shortly after we got to lunch. I can't remember now. But I said if it breaks to the top, I'm gonna take it with one contract, and I have my upside target, which was way up here, and the actual 1-to-1 based off the range was actually well inside of that. My thought initially was that we were just going to go straight there. We did pull back and then went higher, and then we failed. So then I had some running around to do after this point. So at about 12 o'clock was when we were done there, and I got to my next destination where I was able to add in down here. So I did add a second contract at the L2 here. And one positive side real quick while I'm recording this is that you're able to see this is the actual software that I use on TradingView. This is the ORB Signal Pro, and you can see it tells me a long if we're above, a long 2 at the midline, long 3 actually hit down here, but we flipped. I didn't take it. And so you're getting to see a little bit more of this. So if you want to see more of this rather than my other screen, just let me know in the comments, and I'll start recording more from my TradingView setup. but the price pulled back to the L2 and I did enter it. I had about a 105 point stop, I think it was, from the top of the range up here down to the bottom, where I got stopped out. And then, the midline here was probably like another 50 points. So it wound up being about $300. When I took this stop out here, it was like $340, I think it was. And then down here, we got the flip, and I re-entered down here. I actually entered on this candle. The flip came in on this candle, but I did re-enter at the close, pretty much the close of this 5-minute candle that took me out. It was a nice strong candle, and I re-entered. I was hoping that we would pull back. The midline, as you can see, was way up here, but I was hoping that we would pull back to the opening range at some point, primarily when this L2 signal would have been in, or short, yeah, S2, not L2, when this S2 signal would have been right here, but we didn't. We tried, and then we failed, and then we pulled up again. And you can see I added a contract here. So what I done is, as I was trading through the day, every time there would be a resistance area, like this was a shelf right here, through here, when we pushed up through it, I was like, okay, we may be going on up to test this one, which I was prepared to enter an entry. You'll see there is no S2 right here because it's below my initial entry. My initial entry was up here. We're below it, so that's why it didn't give me the signal. But based on this shelf right here, when we pushed up and closed back below it, I entered another contract right below that body there, as we flipped that candle back down. So we did go down. And this is another thing where you can look at hindsight 2020. You can do all this stuff where you can be like, oh, if I'd have took it off down here and added here and took it off down here and added here, it's just too much. You're over trading at that point. You're never going to get the top of the market. You're never going to get the bottom of the market. You just have to enter your trade and take your trade as it is. So I forgot to mention this one. I did take the short here because we're so far from ORB. My stop was inside of ORB. It was like right above this 5-minute fair value gap here. So I let it stay there for the first little bit, and I was in 2 contracts here. So I was in one contract at the break high. I was in another contract at the midline, and then I got stopped out of both contracts here. I entered 2 contracts at the flip, and then we pushed down, pulled up, pushed down, pulled up. Right here, I entered an additional contract. Now, the difference between this and last Wednesday and the Friday before that, where I kind of went off the rails with all these contracts, 10 and 12 contracts, what I did here is I knew I wanted to enter here based on the structure of the market. So what I did is I entered 1 additional contract instead of 2 more. And that is what stopped me from being over leveraged at this point, because the way I done it last week is I entered 2, then I entered 2 more, then I entered 2 more, then I entered 2 more, and I never exited any of them. So what I had planned to do today, and I was in and out after I got home, I was doing some inspection stuff and doing some things around the house. So I entered this 3rd contract here, and I was like, okay, when we break below down here, I want to exit 1. I don't really like how TradingView is set up with everything, so I didn't manually put the order in. I should have taken 1 off right here because my entry would have been, it would have taken 1 off from back here, but that would have added a contract and then took 1 off at the low. And then I could have still added 1 if I wanted to try to ride further down, but I didn't. And so when I came back, this candle was like up here somewhere. And I'm like, well, crap, missed that. So we kind of traded around a little bit. I put this trend line here. We pushed up. I deleted the trend line now. It's not going to show it on the 1 minute because I don't have it in there. But you can see the shelves that I put in and everything. So we had pushed up and sold off, and then we pushed up, and then this one pulled back, and we invalidated this fair value gap right here. So that's why I took the second entry there that I did, was in this candle here. You can see the candle was right down below it, that little red arrow that pops up right there. So then we traded up a little bit higher into this one. I did get a little bit nervous here, and that's a good point to bring up here. So I moved my stop down from up here, down below this one, because or above this one, I mean, because we had the 15-minute fair value gap, the 5-minute fair value gap, the ORB low, the prior or pre-market low, and the band right here. So I was like, if we come up here, we're just done. So when I moved my stop to here, my risk was like 60 points from my, and I think my average was like somewhere in here. So like 126 to 176, 50 points. So I was able to limit my risk. And by doing that, the contracts that I had entered carried the same weight to the downside as the two contracts where my stop was up here. So by doing that, I was able to risk the same amount of money, but have more upside. So then I entered another contract here. When I entered this one, I said, okay, I'm definitely placing the second contract to exit if we break these lows. So you can see I put the trade in right here around this arrow. I got wicked out, and then we traded down further. And I was hoping that we would go way further down here to my downside target right here. But this was at the end of power hour. You know, this is at 4:05 when I took off this last contract here. And I took it off manually. I didn't enter anything. And you can see we came down below my exit, came up, came down again, came up, and then rolled over more. And then kind of came up toward the end of the day. But I wasn't trying to fight the low volume at the end of the day to get out of these last three contracts. So I exited those three. So I was negative like 340, 360 back here. When I took off these two, where the market was is I was like break even a little bit up here, and then as it was chopping around and down here, I would go between break even and up, $70 or so. So I wound up closing it out. Oh, wrong button. How did I do that? I apologize. I don't use Loom all that much. There we go. I clicked on the wrong thing. Nope, go away. Go away. Okay, let me move this. There we go. Accounts. Whoa. Oh, because the market closed. Dang. Yeah. So the market closed. It's not going to show anything because, yeah. But you can see, where's today? Start at the bottom. So limit order canceled because I closed it out manually. Stop order canceled. Market order executed. That was my close. Market order placed was where I placed the order to close those. Stop order modified, where I changed it from 5 to 3 on the stop. Stop order modified from 5 to 3. Stop order modified. So limit order executed. There we go. There's the two that I exited. Limit order modified was where I changed it from 5 to 2, or 5 to 3. Sorry, when I was doing that. Stop order modified up to 5. That was when I added in the one contract. Sorry, I got to show it this way. But I'm trying to show all my trades for today. So this is the 3, the 1, the stop. 3, 3, 3. Buy 2, buy 3. Come on. Where's the button? There we go. Failed to modify order. This is where I first started trying to modify them. Sell 1. There we go. So stop order placed, sell 1, and then stop order executed, sell 1. It's still not showing me everything for some reason. Well, 50,729.50 is the profit. It was like $80 today, but you can see on the screen here the orders. Went long one right here, went long another one right here, stopped out with the 2 here, added the 2 on the flip for short 2 contracts here, added 1 contract here to go to add to that, added 1 more here and 1 more here. So I was in a total of 5 contracts. When this pushed down, I exited 2 contracts here, and then that moved my average down. Also, when that happened, when it moved my average down, I pulled my stop down to the top of this wick right over here to even more limit my risk. And then when we pushed down, I just manually closed it out, like I said. So here's a little bit of insight into the ORB Signal Pro that I use, and a little bit behind the trades that I done today, why I took them, how I added, how this is different than when I went off the rails last week, and how this is much more calculated, and I had a reason for entering these trades. So hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you've made it this far, if you would, please leave a like, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully the market will give us something tomorrow to take for a really good profitable day. We'll just wait and see what happens. So have a great one.